Hey everybody, I'm Sean. Welcome to another episode of Angling Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's episode, I am out at Twin Valley once again. It is now summer and I wanted to come back and check if the water levels were being maintained. For those of you that saw my episode earlier in the year, I came out here early season to see if the water levels had bounced back from last year, and they had. But it's been a drought, but it still looks pretty good. And it is a little bit different than the last time I was here. The last time I was here, the water was all the way up to the very edge of the vegetation. There was no bank showing at all. And on the dock, it was almost up to the bar, just below the bar at the end of the dock there. So now you can see the wheel on the dock is exposed. It's probably down about 3 feet. So it's not really bad, but the water is starting to fall because of the lack of rain that we've had. Something else a little bit different on today's episode. I'm going old school. I don't have my fish finder, so I'm not going to be able to track depth. I'm not going to be able to find those submerged weed patches. And I have a suspicion I'm not going to do as well as I usually do. So this might just show everybody how much I rely on my electronics, not to find fish, but to mark the depth and where those weeds are so that I can find the fish in those weed patches. And without that today, I'm just going merely on instinct. So it could be an interesting episode. Let's get out on the water. All right, everybody, perfectly calm out here today, which is rare for Southern Alberta, as you can see. Gorgeous, and it's supposed to be, I think, similar to this throughout the day. I don't think the winds are supposed to come up too much. The weed growth is pretty high. I'm seeing weed banks that are quite high, some of them sticking above the surface. So the weeds have grown quite a bit since the last time I was here. And because of that, I'm going to use a relatively light spoon. I'm going to use a number 0 green and white Len Thompson, just to stay above those weeds as much as I possibly can. I don't want a deep diving crankbait or something that's going to go down further. I'm going to use a combination today of trolling and casting. I'm going to cast along the edge of these exposed weed beds, but I'm also going to troll in some areas, and we'll see if we can get onto some. All right, we got our first one. Small one, but we got one. Small, big, I don't care. I'll take it. Yeah, it's really tiny. That is a small pike right there. But that's a catch. And small or not, we have one. All right, the little one jumped out of my hand before I could do the release. But so I'm back at it again, trolling, and I just want to talk a little bit about tactics. So for those of you that don't have electronics, or you're at a new lake and you don't know the lake, you know, you're looking for pike. One of the things that you can do if you don't know is follow these weed lines. You can see just off to my left here, all of these weeds sticking up above the surface. Now I guarantee you there's pike in there, and if you wanted to, you could try some surface fishing through those weeds to see if you can get a topwater pike. That's always an option. But if you don't want to topwater fish, then the other thing that you can do is simply troll along the edges of these weed banks. That's what I'm doing. So you can see very clearly in front of me where the weeds are sticking up and where they end. Those weed banks are, there's a drop off at the edge here, and I'm just trolling along the edge of these weeds as close to them as I can get without getting snagged, to see if I can draw some of the pike that are sitting along the edge of those weeds out to my lure. And that can be tough to do because most of the bait fish that the pike are chasing are actually going to be in those weeds taking shelter from the pike. So the ones that you're getting on the periphery are ones that are probably either hunting bigger bait fish, or they're transitioning, maybe moving. There's a fish while talking right there. That's a better hit too. So there you go. As I said, you're picking up those fish as they're coming off the weeds, and that's the tactic for today. So here we go. Just picked up my second along this weed bank. Another small one, I can tell you. This is not a giant, but that's fine. A fish is a fish. Yeah, these are really, really, really small hammer handles today, as we call them. That one's maybe even smaller than the last one. It's highly likely the bigger ones, the ones that would eat this thing, are in the deeper water taking shelter from the heat. So we may change tactics later in the day and focus a little bit different on those ones. All right, it took a while. Not gonna lie, it took a while, but I got another one. Again, seems relatively small, but probably my biggest of the day, I'm guessing, just based on the weight on the line. Either that or it went in the weeds. It's definitely not huge. But yes, definitely my biggest of the day, which is still not that big, but we're in the 20s now at least for the first time today. And there we go. Yeah, that fish finally breaks 20 inches. So my biggest of the day, and we found a bigger one. Happy with that. All right, I'm gonna get this hook off. I'm gonna show you the release on this fish. And then I'm probably just gonna show you some highlights, because it seems like, at least for the time being, oh, I'm catching a bunch of small ones. And I'm happy to be catching them, but you don't need to see small fish after small fish. So, all right, let's let this dude go. There it goes. Thank you for playing. It's now 10 o'clock in the morning. I have caught 7 fish now. I've lost 3, and it's time for the snack of the day. Today's snack of the day is pepper jerky. And this is from a local seller, Longview, here in Alberta. The Longview Jerky Shop. They make some excellent jerky. For those of you that are in the area, you've probably stopped at this place. But yes, Longview Jerky Shop. They have an amazing assortment. The last time I was there, I tried dill pickle jerky, which was all right, but their pepper jerky is awesome. So that's the snack of the day. I'm gonna dig in, and then I'm gonna get back to fishing and hopefully get on to some more big ones. I'm in an area now where I've caught 4 in this one spot, so I'm hoping to catch some more. Let's get to it. Okay, it has been a minute. I can tell you. Oh, did I just lose it? I did pick up another fish, and it's been some time. No, it's still there. I had been fishing for a long time without a bite, and I just finally picked this one up. It went kind of in the weeds here, but it's there, it's out. It just came out of the weeds. Probably my second biggest of the day. Yeah, not bad. And there we go. I got it. So that's my 8th fish of the day. My second largest. Yeah, it's still bleeding a little bit there, but there it goes. All right, so here's the cabbage that I was going over. And following this edge, I see there's a big boulder up in the distance here. I think that's where I'm gonna stop to have lunch. And then I'll get back to it. All right, everybody, let's check out what's in the snackle box today. What I've got today is one of those tuna and couscous insalatissimes. I've had those on the channel before. Some birthday sprinkled yogurt covered pretzels. Some Parmesan crisps. Some fruit here, a plum and some blueberries, granola bar, trail mix, and some carrots. So I'm gonna get into that, have some water, and get back to fishing. All right, you guys. I just had this thing slammed. And I don't know if it's a big one or not, but this thing just took off like a rocket. So it feels heavier too than any of the other ones I've caught today. So let's just hope that my double-digit fish is actually a good one. So I got another chance at 10. And I think it's a good one. Or it's just got a lot of energy. Trying to get to the weeds. Oh, I want to see it. I want to see it at least. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a nice fish. I might have to net this one. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a very good one. That's my biggest of the day for sure. Oh, it's not hooked that well either. I got it. That is a tank. That fish is gonna be 31 inches. 31. All right, you guys, that's gonna do it. I am gonna keep this one. I am at the end of the day, my van is right there. I just caught a nice one. It's perfect meal size for my wife and I for one fish. You can keep one here, and I am gonna keep this one. So that's gonna do it for today. I will meet you guys back at the boat launch to close this one out. All right, you guys, that's gonna do it for this one. I actually caught 3 more fish on the way in. So I ended the day with 13. And why didn't I show those? Because you're gonna see those in the next episode. I filmed something a little bit different today as well, and that's gonna be in the one following this one. So you'll see those fish, but pretty good day on the water, considering that we're middle of summer and you know, I had no electronics and the water conditions were warm, and I thought the pike would be deep. So I'm gonna take a 13 fish day anyway. Anyway, this was gonna close this one out. As always, appreciate it, everybody. If you liked the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and until next time, good fishing.